Greetings to all my dear students. Welcome to part 2 of the teaching learning session of chapter Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. I have already cleared all your previous doubts in the comment section. In the previous class, we completed the summary of the lesson. Hope you understood it. So today I will begin my class with some important phrases from the chapter with their meanings. Phrases means how the writer has used these statements and in which context. Number 1, on our own soil. It means in our own country. Our means Nelson's own country. Number 2, showing a strength and resilience that defies the imagination. It means showing strength and the ability to deal with any kind of hardship that one can't imagine. Number 3, a glimmer of humanity. Here, Nelson means to say a sign of human quality. Depths of operation create heights of character. It means great heroes of South Africa like Oliver, Walter, and others were greatly inspired to sacrifice their lives in the long freedom struggle. Number 5, I am not unmindful of the fact. Here, Nelson means that he was aware of the fact. When my comrades and I were pushed to our limits, means Nelson felt that they could not endure the suffering any longer. To reassure me and keep me going means help me means Nelson, continue to live in hope in the very difficult situation of racial domination. Next, the basic and honorable freedom of earning my keep. Here, earning my keep is a phrase that means earning enough money to live on. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. Kindly pay attention. Here, man's goodness is a flame is a metaphor used in this chapter. Man's goodness has been indirectly compared to the quality of flame that can be hidden but never extinguished, means put out. Now, my dear students, we need to study the character sketch of Nelson Mandela. I have given you all the qualities of Nelson Mandela point-wise so that later you can make your own answers in the form of statement using these points. From the account of his own autobiography, it becomes clear that Nelson Mandela was a great leader, all the sterling qualities of being counted as a great man, very dedicated to his goal, fearless, honest, bold, patient, and had the quality of selflessness. He was a man of vision of humanity, a great freedom fighter, and his whole life was animated by the passion of achieving freedom for his own country. For him, freedom was comprehensive and couldn't be divided. Immense willpower to undergo a long and difficult struggle for almost 8 decades before he won freedom. And Nelson Mandela, as a child, was born in a family with adequate means. He was free to do whatever he liked, very obedient, honored the customs of his tribe, and on growing up, he acquired education and realized that the freedom enjoyed by him in his childhood was a myth that forced him with a passion to fight for the freedom of his own country. So here I end the lesson. Hope you understood it. Now it's time for recapitulation. The lesson shares Nelson Mandela's moving description of his inauguration as South Africa's first black president and his thoughts on freedom. Freedom from the brutality of the whites for the common men, the blacks of his country. Students, there are some oral comprehension check important questions given in the chapter where we have to discuss all those questions orally. From there, I have taken out some of the important questions to be discussed today in this lecture. Let's go through it. Number 1, can you say how 10th May is an autumn day in South Africa? Autumn day? 10th May is an autumn day in South Africa because on this day there was the largest gathering of international leaders on South African soil for the installation of South Africa's first democratic non-racial government. Number 2. At the beginning of his speech, Mandela mentions an extraordinary human disaster. What does he mean by this? What is the glorious human achievement he speaks of at the end? Here is the answer. By an extraordinary human disaster, Mandela means to state the practice of apartheid in South Africa. During this, there was a racial segregation based on color and the blacks suffered a lot. They were not allowed to demand freedom or any right. Mandela himself did spend many years on Robben Island as a prisoner where he was beaten mercilessly. He considered it as great glorious achievement that a black person became the president of a country where the blacks were not even considered human beings and were treated badly. Number 3. What ideals does Nelson Mandela set for the future of South Africa? Answer. Nelson Mandela set the ideals of liberating people from bondage of poverty and suffering. He also set the ideal for a society where there would be no discrimination based on gender or racial origins. Next, what twin obligations does Mandela mention? Mandela mentions 2 obligations. The first to his family, parents, wife and children, and the second obligation is to his people, his community and his country. And here comes the last question among those oral comprehensive check. What did being free mean to Mandela as a boy and as a student? How does he contrast these transitory freedoms with the basic honorable freedoms? Here is the answer. Like any other kid, for Mandela, freedom means to make merry and enjoy the blissful life. Once he becomes an adult, antiques of childhood looks like transitory because most of the childish activities are wasteful from an adult's perspective. Once you are adult, you have to earn a livelihood to bring the bacon home. It is only then when you get an honorable existence in the family and in the society. That's all for today, children. Hope you understood the content. Now kindly pay attention. You will get the answers of the previous home assignment along with today's home assignment with important questions related to this chapter in the PDF 5 that will be received by you soon after this video. Thank you and have a cheerful day ahead. If any problem you face, your doubts are welcome. Thank you.